to Three the Hard Way Sports Podcast from three guys who talked sports together over lunch for over 10 years, probably eating a Fudgy the Whale in that time.
Get older, I will be stronger. They'll call me freedom, just like a waving flag. When I get older, I will be stronger. They'll call me freedom, just like a waving flag.
Welcome everybody to Three the Hard Way Sports Podcast. I'm Bryan Galloway here from Vermont this week. We have Alex Shanley. How are you, Alex?
I'm doing great, enjoying the cooler weather up here in the northern United States of America.
Chugging some maple syrup, right?
Maple syrup for sure.
Yeah,
and
every
beer.
day. Maple syrup and beer. And from parts unknown, we have Michael Pipersek. How are you, Mike?
Doing great. Enjoying the dog days of summer. It's almost August here.
I know,
Wow.
almost August.
It's
It's
flying
almost
by.
August everywhere. It's almost August everywhere, but it's
Especially here.
I'm going through World Cup withdrawal.
Same.
Yeah, that is
MLS
weird.
is not the same. It's
Right?
not
Yeah.
You watch it, it's like the Olympics. You watch it all day long, and then it just disappears, and you're like, "Wait a minute, what do I do with myself now?"
Yeah, I know. So and that's interesting. You watch like the Wrexham game, or you watch MLS, and it's just not as good. It's
yeah.
just not as good.
Yeah,
I have
because
watched
it's so
a
much
couple.
easier to have rooting interest for one country or another
Yeah.
versus, just a random team.
Or I just also like when you look at two countries that you really have no affiliation with. It's just a lot of fun to watch.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
That's the stuff that's one of the things about the World Cup I like is just watching the random countries that you don't even know about, and you watch them go after each other. It's fun. It's fun. Well, okay, let's start with this. I mean, I think we have a couple topics today, but let's start with this. The World Cup final. All of us were wrong.
Wait, no, we said Spain.
No, we said Argentina.
No, we said
I said
Spain.
Spain.
We said it'd be cool.
Go
if-
back and
I-
listen.
you
Go
know,
back and listen to the episode.
I said I'm rooting for Argentina, but I think
Yeah.
Spain will win.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Spain was clearly the superior team, and boy, did they prove it. I mean, Argentina did their best to turn that thing into a street fight, and it was kind of deplorable, actually. I was really disappointed in how Argentina played the game, which kind of demonstrated to me that they didn't think they could beat Spain. And so they just turned it into this ridiculous knife fight where they're just fouling all over the field. What was it, 20 shots to 0 at one point?
Yeah. Well, Messi got in an argument, they said, with the coach because he thought the game plan was bad.
Was there a game plan from Argentina? It was literally just...
It was basically play defense and wait. I think it was very strange.
Yeah.
It reminded me a little bit of... I remember when Russia hosted the World Cup. They were not a great team. Didn't they get to the quarterfinals?
Yeah, they got far.
They upset Spain, I believe, in that World Cup. And I remember watching that game, and they just sat back, the entire team behind the ball, trying to get to penalties. And they did. And then you just roll the dice. Because at one point in that game, where Spain's completely dominating and just couldn't finish, which was a challenge for them throughout. Like, they just possessed the ball, and then finishing is their biggest challenge. And at one point I'm thinking, well, it looks like Argentina is just playing for penalties at this point, and they're going to take their chances there, because at one point the announcer said that Argentina had won their last 5 penalty shootouts or something, including in finals. I think 2 Copa America finals they had won in penalties. So I was really hopeful that this game would not go to penalties, and very relieved when Spain came through with a late goal by Ferran Torres.
Yeah, it can be tough when a team doesn't score early, because then everybody just gets more defensive, and it's just like they play for the late goal. Whereas when you have an early goal, early meaning let's say first 20 minutes of the game, the whole game opens up because the other team's attacking, and then the team that's up can counter, and it just becomes a better game.
Yeah, it's a great point, Alex, because once it's 0-0, and especially in a game of that magnitude, nobody wants to make that mistake that cost them the World Cup. So it gets very cagey, and in Argentina's case, it got very chippy. I mean, They brought in that guy Leandro Paredes in at halftime just to commit fouls. That's all
Yeah,
the guy
yeah,
did the entire
yeah.
time. And then
He's like a
after,
hockey goon. He's like a hockey
he
goon playing
is he was
soccer. Yeah, I know. I was
totally like a goon. It was so frustrating to watch. And I don't think he got a yellow card. I don't think anybody on Argentina
But every
got a
time he
yellow
does something
card.
too, he acts like he didn't do it. He's like, "What are you talking about? It wasn't me."
Yeah,
Yeah, he was annoying.
that,
I mean, I
very
don't know.
frustrating.
Yeah,
Well, the one
I
guy
don't
got
know.
two yellows. He got tossed.
Yeah, he got
Yeah,
tossed. Well, that cost him the
which
game.
he
That cost him the
deserved it.
game.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
so they
which
like
was
so this
dumb.
is the thing that that guy. Who was it? What's his name? Martin
Enzo Fernandez.
Fernandez.
Yeah,
Okay,
Fernandez.
Yeah.
Enzo Fernandez. Okay, Enzo Fernandez basically cost his team because they might have made it to the shootout
I think
if they were
so.
even. They
Totally
might
could
have.
have. Yeah.
His stupidity. Like you have the one yellow card. First of all, the coach should have got him out. Once the first yellow card was taken, I said, "Sorry, you're out. You can't. We can't risk that. You can't risk that." I don't know. Again, I don't know enough about soccer coaching. I don't. I can't. But from my perspective, I'm looking at this and like they have a ton of great guys on their bench. Bring somebody else in. Don't risk that. And then, of course, guess what? He gets his next yellow card. I was at a bar. I was at Bubba's who had like a World Cup final party. It was really cool. They had a great time. They had like halftime giveaways. They had all this cool stuff. Um, so it was a lot of fun. They did a great job, and it was cool to see it with all these people because there was fans all over the place. One guy sitting next to me was a big Spain fan. The other guy on my right hand side was a big Argentina fan, and they were going nuts. And it was a lot of fun to see that. For soccer, which you don't get to see that much, and I love the fact that there were so many fans. That the place was packed with soccer fans, guys, and that shows me something that maybe the tide is changing a little bit, or they're just maybe these closet fans that we didn't know about because you don't see them very often. It was really cool. But anyway, so we're watching the game and everybody's going nuts. And when that play happened, everybody was like, "We knew it. It was going to happen. We knew he's gonna. He always does that. He always gets yellow card. Doesn't pay attention." And I think that what they were telling me is that Argentina gets away with it so much that they sometimes they think that the refs are going to let them get away with it. And I don't know enough about their. Again, I'm not asking. I just had a lot of people around me who seemed to know what they were talking about. Big time fans that knew all about the players and everything. And they were saying that it's very common for Argentina, but it seems like most of the South American refs let you get away with a lot more than the rest of the world. Now I don't know. Is
Because
that true?
yeah,
Is that
yeah,
true?
that's how those teams play in
Yeah, it's
South
a different
America.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally
Okay.
different game, much more physical, and you have to adjust your play style to how the game is being officiated. Because I think Enzo Fernandez, the first yellow was for dissent, right? And then the
Yes.
second one was which is foolish, and that's how he is. He's a very fiery guy. He's a very talented guy. But then the second one was just such a reckless challenge.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
And he
Yeah.
seemed incredulous that he got a yellow card. And Brian, you made the point of, oh, they've got a lot of good players. They could pull players in off the bench and so on. And that's true. They do. But Enzo Fernandez was the FIFA Young Player of the World Cup, the last World Cup.
yeah. I know.
I don't think they had a lot of faith in their guys because Spain was pulling off some very good players. They
Yes.
brought Ferran Torres in to replace Mikel Oyarzabal, who's their leading scorer. He's got an incredible scoring record, and they brought him off. They took Danny Olmo off, who's a very good player. They brought in Mikel Merino, who had two game-winning goals in the World Cup. They brought in Nico Williams, who probably would have been a starter for them if he didn't come into the World Cup injured, and he assisted on that goal.
He assisted on that first goal. And he actually almost had a goal right before that too. There was
Yeah,
one that was close. Yeah.
and then Rodri, who plays central midfield, who is, I believe, he won the Player of the Tournament, and he won the Ballon d'Or a few years ago. They took him off the field in the 99th minute. So
Yeah.
Spain was taking off really top shelf players and bringing in other very good players. So they adjusted to the game
Very,
where
so,
Argentina
but
said,
see,
"Hey, we're sticking with these guys."
so Mike, and again, I'm learning, and this is good for our listeners. So 99th minute, they're tired. So sometimes even a great
Absolutely.
player that's tired, it's better off to have a person who's maybe not as good, but still excellent at a shorter term because they're rested. So you almost make it, so you're almost breaking even, as opposed to a person who's kind of losing it. You bring
Yeah.
in somebody who's fresh. Now, in other sports, it doesn't always work that way because you don't have the bench doesn't have that many great players.
And there are more
Here there are
stoppages.
so many. There were so many, right?
Yeah, and you have more stoppages in other
Yeah.
sports. So when you bring in a player like Nico Williams in the 75th minute, now he's generally speaking very fast and crafty on the wing. Now you're bringing him in fresh in the 75th minute to to run against guys that their legs are getting heavy.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
feeling the pressure of don't make a mistake. And so the two guys that linked up for that goal were Nico Williams and Ferran Torres, both subs.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's why you make those moves. And I mean,
And
look,
they're tactical, right?
great.
Like,
Oh
Spain
yeah,
chose a more offensive
hmm,
tactic at that time to say we want to score in regulation or we want to score in
absolutely.
extra time. So they went more offensively. And also um, Argentina was dealing with injuries, right? I think they had two guys go off because of injury, and
Hmm.
those are two subs that are taken away from you that you don't plan on using on certain players and end up having to use them. So, that comes into play as well because in the World Cup and in football, you only get five substitutions for the whole game, and you have to make those five substitutions within three different sections. So you can't,
Windows, yeah,
yeah, three windows, right? You can't make one substitution five times. So you only have the opportunity to sub in players three times per game. And within those three windows, you can sub a total of five players. So there's tactics even within substitutions. And if you use all your substitutes and a player gets hurt, you're playing down. You can't
yep.
sub in just because a guy gets hurt. So there's a lot of thought around who and when and at what point in the game you want to sub and what's going on in the game and what you want to do. So Argentina was looking a little more defensively in their substitution, saying, "Hey, let's play for PKs," and Spain was saying, "Hey, let's put in some more attacking players and see if we can get a goal to win."
That's
Yeah,
exactly what England. That's almost like what England did, right?
yeah, and because of injuries, like Alex said, Argentina had a couple of injuries that forced their hand, but they were burning subs early. Argentina,
Yeah,
it was very strange that they were playing for penalties, but they had used all of their subs up through 70 minutes. And I'm thinking, well, how are they going to get through another 50 minutes? Because you do get one additional sub in extra time. And I'm thinking, there's no way they're going to be able to go another 50 minutes with one sub. Where are they going to pull the player from?
yeah.
I mean, they were struggling to kind of. I can't remember who was the attacking player they had in, but when he was tracking back to defend, he looked like he had no energy to get up the field for them to score. And I'm thinking, their only hope is penalties at this
Well,
point. And
Messi wasn't defending at all.
yeah,
So
well, he
he
doesn't
Well,
often.
yeah,
no, he
yeah,
doesn't offer. But see, the thing about it is, I think it it was to me. It was, first of all, it's hard to root against Spain because they don't play chippy, and they seem to play the game very well, and they pass a lot, and they're very team oriented as opposed to having that hero. They really don't. They seem like everybody they cared about each other, which is very interesting. It reminded me of the Knicks a little bit in a lot of ways. But in Argentina, who has Messi and has some stars, I just don't think they screwed up their game plan or something, because it seemed to me like 2 or 3 minutes in, they're like, hey, this is not going to work, and they didn't know what to do. And I don't know. Again, I don't know their coach. I don't know how hard it is to change your philosophy mid game like that. But I would have thought at halftime they would have made some dramatic changes to how they approached it, because they something was wrong. They couldn't do anything. It was
yeah.
it
I had
was
to
it was
look at
almost
Rob
embarrassing.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't.
Spain's good too, right?
Oh,
Like,
they're but are
Excellent.
they
Spain.
that good? Are they
Oh
that
yeah,
good? 20
Yeah,
shots to
yeah.
nothing. Good.
I
I
think
mean,
they're
Defensively,
that
they're
good. They
they're
are
they're
fantastic.
amazing. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and they possess the ball. So they make you suffer the whole game because they hold the ball. And I think, what did they give up? One goal the whole tournament.
One
yeah,
goal the
one goal the
entire
whole
tournament. It
tournament.
was it was against Belgium, and Alex,
Belgium, right?
yeah, Alex, you made a great point about they make you suffer. One of the things that Zlatan Ibrahimovic said, and I loved that whole team. I miss them too. I miss that crew they had with Rebecca Lowe and Thierry Henry and Zlatan Ibrahimovic and that American guy, whatever his name is. Um, but Zlatan made this point, and I think he may have been talking about Spain, but he said you need to make the ball sweat. When the ball sweats, the players don't. And that's what Spain does. They move the
Yeah.
ball so much that the ball is doing all the work. They're not running around like maniacs and wearing themselves out. They just move the ball and they make you chase the ball and they
Yeah.
just wear you down over the course of 90 minutes. And that's where they had this game where they scored in extra time to win the World Cup, and then they had a late goal against Belgium as
Yep.
well
Yep.
to win that game. And I don't recall who the other game was
Where
because
Belgium had Belgium had
scored.
opportunities. Belgium
They
had
played very well
opportunities.
in that game. Yeah,
Oh, they had
they
their
really
opportunity.
pushed them.
It probably
Absolutely.
ca- it probably now here's my question. Let's say if Belgium had won, do you think they could have beaten Argentina?
France. Well, they
Could
would
they?
have played. They would have played
Oh,
France.
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 Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know if they would have beaten France, but
yeah, would have been a
um,
great game. But
now,
Belgium, I
now
thought played very well in
we
that.
did not talk about the Saturday game though. What? Okay, England France. Now, I watched it. I wanted to watch it because I like, I wanted to see England. I liked England a lot, and we had seen France, so I was, I knew a lot of their players, so I wanted to watch that game. That was a crazy. It was like an indoor soccer league game. It was
Yeah.
like crazy. It was crazy. Now that's not normal. It isn't normal, but I have to say they were very competitive. After a while, like I think England went out and started beating their butt. France came back, and then it was very competitive at the end there. It was pretty cool. That was a lot of fun to watch. That was a fun game because it really didn't have much. There really wasn't much there involved. And people they were just playing for pride. Um, but it
But
was a lot of fun.
it shows you the difference, right? When you're just going out there to play a game, and really, France in the first half didn't come to play, and that's what made it. And England did, right? England,
And England had all
made
their subs in though too, right?
right.
A
Yeah,
few,
yeah. They
yeah, it
they
was a
played a
mix.
lot of
Yeah,
subs, but when you have a wide open game, you can see how much scoring goes on. But when you really slow the game down and close it up, that's when everything gets tight. It's like the NBA, right? Like regular season,
versus
everything's open and
playoffs.
wild, and then you get into the playoffs, and all of a sudden you're like, well, why aren't we scoring anymore? Because they start playing, legitimate defense. So in the third place game, there's not a whole lot to win, quote unquote. So it was a much more open game with a lot of subs playing, and France being uninspired, and then getting inspired after halftime because the coach probably screamed and yelled at them and said, hey, this is going to be my last game, do something for me. And then they go out and they score a couple goals and get back into it, and then England ended up putting them away. But you're right, Brian. It was a great game, and it was like an indoor soccer game. That's a
Well,
great
well,
uh,
and then
I
Steve
and then
loved
Steve
it.
Jungle.
so okay, yes, Steve Jungle, yeah, there you go. Um, but it's funny because they were like, okay, we got to do something. They bring Bellingham back in because they
Yeah.
said we okay, you guys are playing your starters, okay, let's do it. And what's funny is um, Hansen, Mbop, that guy, whatever his name is, Mbappe. I know, I know he's Hansen. I call him Hansen because he's like the song Mbappe. But he scored and he played. He played very well. I wish he had played that well. He probably wishes he had played that well the game before. But he scored, and he was in there because he was only in there to get the goals for his golden boot. Now
Right.
I do not feel that should count because you're playing in a game that doesn't really matter. I know it's a World Cup game, but it's a different situation, and because of that, he wins the golden boot and he really didn't. I don't know. That it's kind of like I don't know. I don't think it works. I don't think that was a fair. That's a fair. I don't think it should It should count. But what do you guys
Yeah.
think about that?
Yeah. I think other people are saying the same thing, but everybody had the same opportunity to score in the other games. Now, he does get an additional game because he's playing in the third place game. But, I mean, it's a game. It's a game. So I wonder how many times that has actually happened where the third place, the team that was the fourth place guy actually gets the golden boot
In that game. He wins it in
in
that
that
game,
game. Yeah,
right?
he
Because he
scored two
scored
goals,
twice.
right?
Yeah, they were tied
Yeah,
at 8. He and
And they
Messi
were good.
were
And they
tied
were.
at
And he
8.
did. Those are nice shots. I mean, it wasn't like
Yeah.
they
yeah,
weren't cheap. They weren't cheap.
yeah.
And I don't know. Again, he's a talented dude. He really is. And it's great.
Oh, he's great.
Now that I've seen him enough, I appreciate him. Like I like I'm a big Bellingham fan now. I like him a lot. I really do.
Terrific
And
player, yeah.
he's just a
Yeah.
really I like just like the way he plays, and I love the way he is with his teammates. You can just see they love him too, and I love what's his Erlin Holland. I think
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I can't get enough of all his stuff on his YouTube channel and all that. I mean, it's hilarious. Just
yeah.
he is a comedian. He's
Yeah.
like the Charles Barkley of soccer, but he's better than that.
He
Um,
is a riot.
he's a riot. He's a riot, and he's just a genuinely good guy. Did you see the one where he goes into the store to buy cowboy hats?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
What
goodness, that's
what a couple.
hilarious.
He's got a big
That,
head.
yeah, and then buys hats for all his friends, like all his teammates. He buys
Look,
boots and
that
hats for his
was
friends.
that was after a game they went
Yeah,
to.
yeah, right after a game.
Boy, those two guys who I guess are part of just the yeah, I think they were part of the what do they call it? The boot crew or whatever. They're like the kit men. The kit men.
Yeah,
Those guys, I think those guys were clearly drinking before they,
yeah.
they were they were having a blast, and he's trying on all these hats and stuff, and he's looking
Imagine
for
the guys in the store like we're making out, man. This guy's coming in and buying
yeah.
everything.
Well,
What's the most
I learned
expensive? I want
I,
three hats. He got three hats. He got one like a black, a brown, and one for the
got a white
winter. He got
one,
a
didn't
white
he?
one. Yeah, I mean, like I was like dying.
And weren't they heating it up to like stretch it
Yeah,
out for his head? Yeah, things I don't
Yeah.
know. I learned something about cowboy hats, wearing cowboy hats.
yeah, that was great. But it was so cool, like just how that his personality and how it really captured society. People, he's a big people know him now. Believe me, and so it made a big impression on people. I have a feeling MLS is gonna have more people go to the games because people are gonna want more soccer now.
They'll be disappointed though
Yeah,
because
they'll be like, "Hey, these
there,
guys suck." Yeah,
it was very funny because I think it might have been the first game because MLS obviously paused
yeah,
their season, and at the first game back, I think Miami was playing, and someone passed it back to the goalie, and he swung and missed, and it rolled into the goal, and so then this became a post that people were saying, "Oh, I've been watching the World Cup for 3 weeks and got into soccer, and then I turned this on. This is what I see."
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's unfortunate, but MLS keeps they're trying to grow with these homegrown players, American players, but they continue to recruit these aging foreign players. So Chicago just picked up Robert Lewandowski, who's played for Poland for a long time and scored a ton
yeah.
of goals at
The
Bayern.
New York team got a guy from Brazil. Just they signed yesterday or a couple days
Well,
ago.
I didn't see that. I did see
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Inter Miami signed yet another foreign player. They signed Casemiro, who has played for Real Madrid and Manchester United. They seem to have half of their starting
Yeah.
11 is
Which aren't there
international.
limits on that?
I
Like,
yeah,
weren't you only
I
allowed to
thought
have so many
so.
foreign transfers?
I thought so too, and I always thought the number was two. But then when this Casemiro thing came out, I thought it said something like five or six, and I'm thinking, well, how come everybody else doesn't have them? And I don't know if there's a salary cap in MLS, and or other teams are just content to not pay for these players because New York Red Bulls they will take a transfer from one of their other international teams in Salzburg or Leipzig, but Inter Miami's gone all in on international players. Maybe that's Beckham, or maybe they are able
Well,
to
yeah,
spend
because
more.
why would they
But
complain though? Because when these teams come into town, they sell out.
they
Yeah.
do, yeah.
Yeah.
But also, Mike, I wonder if it has to do with the expansion, right? Because MLS is up to like 30 teams now, so
Way
maybe
too
they just
many teams.
need the foreign
Yeah,
players
remember that's what
to
happened
fill
with
up
the
rosters.
that's what
With
happened with the North
NASL.
American Soccer League. That when they
Yeah.
expanded, they were doing great. They expanded. I don't know. I watched the New York FC versus Columbus the other night. That was a really good game. I enjoyed it. I liked it. It was good. Definitely the quality of soccer is not the same, but it was good. There were those two teams are pretty deep. Columbus is good, and New York won. That was fun to watch. Then I watched New York Chicago the other night because I wanted to see Lewandowski,
Mhm.
and it was okay. They weren't that good. It was kind of
Yeah.
maybe he's not used to playing with those guys yet. He's probably like, wait a second,
Only
these
been a
guys
couple
suck.
games,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Did
we'll
you
see.
see Brian? Were either of those games where you saw NYCFC? Were either of those games played at Yankee Stadium?
No, I watched the Wrexham game the other day.
Oh
That
my
was
gosh. How narrow is that? I knew that the field was narrow at Yankee Stadium, but it was on last night. I'm watching it, and normally when you're watching a game, when the ball is near the top of the screen, you cannot see
Yeah.
the bottom of the field. And I see this line running along the near the bottom of the screen. I'm thinking, there's no way the field is that narrow. But then I watched for a few minutes. I said, yeah, it's that narrow. It is so
Yeah,
congested for
they're
11v11.
basically playing in the outfield.
Oh my god, it is so narrow that
Yeah,
I mean the penalty area, the goalie box is so large, and they keep that. I think they keep that to its true dimensions. There, that the edge of that is so close to the sideline that it's
yeah,
absurd. Every corner kick was getting popped practically into the seats.
Yeah.
It was hard to. I don't
I
know
I
how
went to a
MLS
game there
allows that.
the year that the NYFC won the championship. I went one of my friend's brother-in-laws had tickets and brought us, and we went, and I was shocked at how squished it was. I was like,
Yeah,
okay, well, I thought it has to be the correct dimensions, though, right? Are the dimensions changed, or
it is.
it's just the outer
oh no,
areas?
no, the dimensions are off.
So
It's
this is
I mean,
super
like
narrow.
Boston Gardens in hockey, or a couple of them. Remember when they used to have? I
Yeah, a
remember in
couple
hockey there was like
perimeter.
three stadiums that had the wrong dimensions because they didn't have the room, and you had to deal with it. But now through the years they did change it. But so that's how it is. So I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you could alter the dimensions
yeah,
of
well,
this.
the soccer, there's varying widths and lengths for the field. There's kind of like, I think you have to be within a certain, minimums, but
Oh
the field sizes are a little bit different. But the Yankee Stadium is just, they don't have a choice. A, they have no other place to play, and B, it's not a legitimate soccer field, and they kind of know it. But they're building a new stadium, which I think is going to go in 2027. It'll be ready for that season.
yeah, because I
So
know the Cosmos used to play in Randall Island for a while, and then they went to Yankee Stadium, or vice versa. Went maybe Yankee Stadium
Giants.
first, then to
I've seen
Randall
the
Island,
Giants
and
stadium.
then they went to Giant Stadium. Yeah, but they played in
yeah,
other
once they
places
got
before.
Pele, they went
Yeah,
to Giant Stadium.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was
yeah,
there.
But I know
Yes,
Randall Island has a big soccer, but I don't know if they don't have a stands. I don't think they have enough capacity for a crowd. But I know they have a really good soccer stadium in Randall Island, but it's just I don't know how much the stands hold. Um,
it
that's it.
looks
Yeah,
like
yeah. For
it's very
MLS,
interesting.
they shoot for like 25,000. That's kind of where they want to
Yeah.
be. And like Seattle's much bigger because they play in the football stadium and stuff like that. But I think the Red Bulls is what, Mike, like 20,
yeah,
25,000.
Wait.
about 20.
The Seattle
Yeah,
team plays in where the football team plays.
Yeah,
I didn't know
yeah.
Oh, because
that. That's Ohio
When
State.
I went to Seattle with I don't even remember his name too. There was a guy from AT&T took me to a game, and it
Pat
was in
Hunt.
this. No, not Pat Hunt. I know. I would have remembered Pat Hunt. There was another guy there. He was a networking guy. What's his name? I don't remember his name. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that. But he took me to a game there, and they played it looked like a high school stadium. It was crazy. I was like, this is a professional soccer league. Um,
No, they
yeah.
play. I'm pretty sure they play at Lumen
Yeah,
Field. Yeah,
Lumen, they do. Yeah, it's set
yeah.
up to hold 37,000
Oh, that's great.
for
Well, yeah, no,
soccer.
from that they have a great fan base.
Yeah,
Yeah,
them in
yeah, they
Portland,
do.
Brian. Them in Portland has always had a really great fan base back
Yeah,
from
the
the
Portland
NASL
Timbers.
days.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think they have their own stadium. But yeah,
yeah, they do.
a lot of those teams have their own stadium, and they do make them small. Toronto, I think, is a smaller stadium as well. They had to expand their stadium for World Cup games. I don't know how many seats they added, but yeah, Columbus, I think, in
But
the last few years got their own.
Mike, how's that going to work? Because they're shifting to the same world schedule, right? Like they're going to be playing in February, right? Like
If
MLS
they're
isn't going to be a summer league anymore.
they are going to follow the
Yeah,
World Cup. When are they? Oh my gosh,
yeah. So
how?
they're gonna shift
Yeah, they
everything
are. They
to
are.
be the
Yeah,
same as the Premier
I
League
read
and
that
La
too. I
Liga and
read
all
that.
that.
Yeah, I read
I
that.
mean,
Yeah.
I mean Portland in
Well, New York,
February.
yeah, Red Bulls.
How
There's a
about
lot of
Chicago? How about Chicago in
Yeah,
February? Yeah.
and
Columbus.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Columbus.
Huh?
Yeah, it's going to be brutal. Yeah, it's going to
Yeah,
be tough. You're going to have trouble getting to games in
yeah.
some
Fans
cases.
aren't going to go to that.
No, I mean Red Bulls. I don't think they never ever. I used to have season tickets for Red Bulls, and it would be a good crowd, a lively crowd. But if they had 12 to 13,000, that was a good night for them. And then there's still a lot of empty seats. And that's in the summertime when people are probably saying, oh, it's a nice beach day. I'm going to stay at the beach. I'm not going to go to the game. Well, certainly they're not going to go if
Yeah.
the
I
forecast
mean,
is snow
kids are
or
off of
flooding.
school.
And what's going to
You know,
happen? And they're not going to make. They can't have games on Sunday because
Well,
soccer's usually Saturday, right?
yeah,
well,
they had some weeknight games as well with Red Bulls, and who's going
Okay.
to do that on a Tuesday evening, right? Nobody's going to in February,
yeah,
no
but like
less.
to Brian's point, you're going to compete against football.
No, you can't
Yeah,
compete
no
against football.
way.
No, you
Yeah,
can't do that.
So,
yeah, it's
but
kind of
I think
strange.
they were doing it because they were getting pressured from the other leagues around the world, like because I guess transferring players
International
and
breaks
moving
and
guys
stuff.
around is much more difficult if the MLS is playing in a completely different season.
When are they planning to do that?
I'll look it up. I'll look it up while we're on.
Well, yeah. While you're doing that, let's go. I mean, we have to. We just spent half an hour on this. So anyway, we miss it. As you could tell, guys, we missed the World Cup. We really got into it. I hope you did too. Um, we'll talk more soccer as the year goes by. Hopefully, there's reasons for us to talk about it. But hey, we haven't even talked about LeBron yet. So did you? Who had on their bingo card that he was going to Philadelphia? I just was shocked. I just thought that was not going to be his choice. I would never think he would want to go play with Embiid. But what do you guys think about this?
Well, I guess I thought it would be Cleveland to go home or Miami to play
Yes.
with Giannis
Yep.
in the nice weather.
Yep.
Those are my two. Now, the wild card with Philly was the Tyrese Maxey connection, having the same agent, and he's known Maxey for several years. I guess Jalen Brown going over there is intriguing. And as much as Rich Paul was saying that this was not an effort to ring chase, that's exactly what this looks like. It's a
Yes.
ring chase because if you went to Miami, that to me is not a threat to win a title. Adding him to Giannis and whoever's left over after the Giannis trade, they had to give away a lot of pieces. Cleveland, I think Cleveland would have been a pretty good choice for him to go back there if he went on the veteran minimum and joined that team. A solid team that probably needed someone to push them over, and maybe LeBron is that guy, not from a scoring perspective, but just from maybe teaching Donovan Mitchell how to get over the hump, because I thought Donovan Mitchell completely flopped against the Knicks in that
Oh yeah.
series.
Big time.
So I thought maybe he would help Cleveland, and it's a homecoming, and then you finish your career there. I thought that would be a really cool story. So to go to and maybe you get a ring, maybe not, but you're home. You're like the conquering hero returns home. Odysseus comes home. But with Philly, it just looks like a ring chase. And I guess he thought, well, this is my best chance to win a title. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think he did decide I need to get out of the West, but the East is tough, man. Like some,
Yeah, and again, they're gonna have to be healthy.
yeah,
They're banking a
they
lot.
have.
They're banking
I
a
don't
lot on
know.
injured players. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, they're banking on a couple of like
And
Jalen
and
Brown is
and
very
their
durable.
bench is decimated.
Yeah, Jalen Brown is very durable. He plays all the time now. More and more of the narrative about why did Jalen Brown get traded and why did he get traded for so little. So much of that is pointing to the analytics. Oh, he doesn't contribute enough to wins, and the Celtics record was very good when he was out. I don't fully buy into that. I would still love to have Jalen Brown in the Celtics. So I think it's a good addition for the Sixers. Maxey is an excellent player, a little
Yep.
streaky, but great young player. Edgecombe was very good in spurts, young player. I think they're kind of stockpiling guards there. But the key guy here is Embiid staying healthy, and I don't see that happening. He's played 56 games over the last 2 years. I don't see him getting healthier suddenly. And LeBron, for all of
I I
his,
I have a feeling LeBron's not going to put up with him.
I think he's going to get frustrated if he's injured or if he is perceived
Acting
as
like a
not
jerk.
giving
I
his
mean,
maximum
yeah,
effort.
yeah.
And look, LeBron is 42 years old, and as much of a miracle as this is that he's going into his 23rd year or whatever, the guy has missed games for sciatica. So
Yeah.
I don't know if the plan is to, hey, we're going to play well enough during the season to create an identity for us and build some cohesiveness, but we're not going to go all in on the regular season, and we're going to push our chips into the center of the table come playoff time. But I don't see how adding LeBron James to a team that got demolished by the Knicks gets them over the hump to beat the Knicks. I just don't. And I
So
don't. And
so
the
here
Pacers are coming back, and I think the Pacers are going to be very good.
Yeah, they
yeah.
are.
So my take on it, like I'm in 1,000% agreement. The injuries, all that is going to come into play, and it's going to be a nightmare for them. My angle on it is, how can you put this team together and think you're going to win in the next year or two? You have
Right.
two new starters, right? So 40% of your team is new starters. They're all older guys, they're all system guys. And what's going to happen when now Nick Nurse needs to make all this work together? It's going to take them more than a year to figure that out, right? And then
Yes.
you're in the second year and there's bickering and it's not going to work. This When does this
J-
ever work,
do
right?
you
Remember
think
when all
Jalen
those
Brown?
guys
Do you
went,
think Jalen Brown's going to want to be a third option? I mean, I don't
He,
no
think.
way.
he doesn't like Joel Embiid. Remember how furious he was
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
Embiid in the series? He's good. And Jalen Brown, I respect Jalen Brown for this. He speaks his mind,
Yeah.
and I don't think he's going to let LeBron
Well,
come in there
well,
and move everybody
you
around.
heard what he said about Bronny too. I mean,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So to
Jalen Brown,
me,
yeah,
Jalen Brown, I think he's going to challenge Nick Nurse as well. I mean, I'm not calling him uncoachable, but he will challenge Nick Nurse and he'll hold him accountable. Joe Mazzulla said as much, and Joe
Yeah.
Mazzulla said, "Hey, I appreciate that." So this is going to be like Alex said. This kind of stuff never works out where you try to like throw guys together. Gary Payton and Karl Malone and Steve Nash, all these guys went to the Lakers trying to chase a ring, and that
Yeah.
imploded. This
Yeah.
is
It
this is
never
not going to
works.
work. Yeah, this to me is
And
not going to work.
and the other thing, like building team cohesion, right? It takes a while. Look at the Knicks, right? It took them a couple years. Add a piece, let them play
The
together.
right
Add a
coach as
piece.
well.
Yeah, get the right coach exactly.
Yeah,
And LeBron's going to live in New York. I mean, and
he
he's
said
yeah,
that.
helicoptering back and forth
yeah.
from
He's
New
gonna
York to
he's gonna drive.
Philadelphia.
He's gonna drive. He's gonna commute to New York. Yeah,
That
And
doesn't tell me you're
and
committed to Philly.
yeah,
yeah, and his son is now transferring to Villanova. I
yeah.
mean, this is like it's maddening. Like I don't know. It just seems crazy to me. I mean,
Well, and wait, Alex. So there's one thing that Jalen Brown and LeBron have in common. They could sit there and talk about their weird hairlines that they have because we know, there's a website devoted to LeBron's different hairlines over the years. But and remember, Jalen Brown last year had that stuff leaking from his head, and
yeah,
people were getting all pissed off
yeah,
because it would get
yeah,
all over their uniform.
yeah.
And so I can just imagine the two of them. Maybe they could put some money together and put together a company that could actually help their hairlines. But that's got to be funny. That's going to be a funny conversation. The two of them, like, oh man, what's that stuff on your head? Oh, hey, how come you have like 20 different hairlines? What happened? I can just imagine the conversations these guys are going to have. I
The
just
poor
feel
equipment guy.
yeah, I have a feeling. I have a feeling this is going to be just a nightmare. It might be fun to watch, and they might be fun. There might be nights when these guys dominate, but there's also going to be nights when they just implode. And it's going to be.
But think about guarding, right? Like Maxi is a dynamic player. You have to guard him. Joel Embiid, if he's on the court, you have to guard him. Jalen Brown, you're going to have to guard. LeBron, like, I mean, are you going to worry about LeBron tossing up threes all night? No.
Yeah,
Edgecombe, young guy, still trying to work his way in the league. I mean, they can almost play off two players and really focus and guard the guys they need to guard. I don't know. I don't see it working. Like I said, it never does. I don't think LeBron's going to build a team there. He's going to want to bring in his own guys. That's why he waited for a long time. He wanted Cleveland or Miami to try to get Anthony Davis. They couldn't do it. And I think the Sixers were the third or fourth choice. He wanted to go to the Knicks, right? Bottom line, he wanted to go to the Knicks. He wanted to live in New York, and he wanted to play for the Knicks. And the
but
Knicks winning the
he wanted to be the
championship,
savior if the Knicks won the championship. But
exactly.
once they won, he wasn't going to be a savior.
Yeah. And they're saying, I'm sure the Knicks took the call and, talked to his agent, but they were like, no, we're not interested.
Yeah,
Good.
Like,
Yeah, good.
yeah,
What do they need him for? I mean, and look,
exactly.
if LeBron's mission to me, this is the other thing that annoyed me was, oh, he's not chasing rings. He's trying to find the right situation. Hey, look, if you
No.
want to be in New York, why don't you go to Brooklyn
Yeah.
and impart all of your wisdom? He always talks about how he's the smartest player, and he's smarter than
Yeah.
coaches, and knows all this, and oh, I can remember I can remember the exact play we ran in 2003 in game 80 81 of the season or something. Oh, he's got this incredible mind for basketball. You know what? Go impart your wisdom on the Brooklyn Nets.
Player
And
coach.
yeah, and just see if you can elevate those guys, right?
Yeah.
Like to me, that would be an incredible conclusion to his career. I've won enough titles. I've got every record in the book. I'm not going to participate in this GOAT conversation, which he does, and he shouldn't. I'm going to go to the Brooklyn Nets, and I'm going to teach these guys how to win. And then I'm going to walk away after 2 years. They will have improved, and the trajectory will continue because I laid the foundation. That's what I would love to see out of this guy
Yeah.
instead of
Yeah.
where
But
can I win it,
when
where
was
can
the
I win?
I
last
like that
when
scenario.
was the last player Bill Russell was a player coach, and I think Paul Silas did too. Not they were old Celtics, but I mean I think that because the Celtics had their tradition. But
Anybody could win
how
a
many other
title
real
with those guys.
player? When was the last time it was another player coach? I haven't seen that. They don't do that much anymore.
No,
Pete
yeah,
Rose.
B Rose was one, yeah, you're right. So
hmm.
Frank Robinson too, right?
Yeah, I believe
Frank
so.
Robinson pinch hit, and he was a pinch hit manager. I always just crack me up. Like he's like, who do I have to pinch hit? Nah, these guys suck. Okay, I'm gonna put myself in there. Like that just cracks me up. And like you make the decision. I have no faith in the rest of you guys. I'm gonna go pinch hit. Like
Yeah.
that always cracked me up about the player manager. But yeah, I don't. We don't that I don't know if that works in basketball anymore. How can you be a player coach?
Lenny Wilkins was a player coach,
He was
Brian.
too. He
And
was.
you know who else, Brian? Al Adels was a player coach.
Yes, he was. You're right.
I had to look this up because I feel
Again,
like
old
there was
Celtic,
someone else.
another old Celtic. Like something about the Celtics, the winning tradition there. You learn how to be a coach. Um,
They
there was
figured
a
that
lot. There
this
was a lot of. You think about those really good Celtic teams. There's a lot of guys from there that became coaches. Don Nelson, um, Tommy
ML
Heinsohn.
Carr was a coach,
Yeah, I
Brian.
mean
Remember?
it's amazing though. It's amazing how many they just learned how to win for so long that it was easy for them to coach. But yeah, okay. I'm kind of surprised by LeBron. Again, whatever. We'll get to see him more often than we need to any nowadays. The thing is, Sixer tickets used to be so cheap. You want to see a game, no problem. You go over. No way now. They're like triple in price.
It's
Well,
this.
That's the
is
one
that
thing.
the other move? So they get their own fans in the stadium instead
Yeah.
of the New York fans taking over, right? I mean, they must have been embarrassed by that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as
that's
if
very
I needed
interesting.
another reason to dislike the Sixers. Now LeBron goes there.
Yeah.
God.
So the last topic I want to talk about tonight, and then unless there's something else you want to talk about, is the All Star Game home run derby. Um, what did you? I'm kind of like the All Star Game. I just don't understand. It's getting worse. I don't. It was. I love to watch them. I love to see the players, but they can't hit in these because the pitchers are too dominating. If you see a pitcher for only an inning, these are dominating and they're just not able to hit. Um,
Well, the
it,
Yankees hit.
yeah, the Yankees hit in the first inning. In the first inning, yeah.
Yeah.
But what do you guys think? Is it losing its luster?
I mean, I think it's the best All Star game of any All Star
What?
game,
Not the
honestly.
flag football game in NFL? No,
I
no.
missed the
It,
Pro
To
Bowl.
me,
yeah,
I love them wearing their own uniforms. I love that everybody they kind of rotate in and gets to
yeah,
play.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, the pitchers have always dominated the All Star game. I mean, there were games in the 70s and 80s where they put up some runs, but pitchers were pitching a couple innings then, and now I like it. Like put the players in, let them play. Low scoring game, it's fine, and their players are having fun and they're interviewing them and all that, and I like it. And you know, to me, it's like the middle of the summer when the All
yeah,
Star game comes. It's like like it's the middle of the summer, and usually there's nothing going on that night, and you're watching. It's a cool event, so I love it. I love it no matter what. So
yeah. Okay,
I,
okay.
I
I didn't. I
hated
didn't
that when they
know.
wore other uniforms. I think
Yeah, I
they
don't
should
like that
wear their
either.
own
I don't
uniform.
like that
It's
either. You're
much
right.
better, much better.
I didn't watch it at all. But everybody tries in this All Star
Oh, they
game,
all
right?
try. They all try.
Yeah.
They
So
try.
so so to me, that is the hallmark of a great All Star
No,
game.
they don't want to
And
have. They don't want to.
yeah,
They don't want to look bad. I mean, and
yeah,
that's
you don't
another
want to
thing
get
too.
embarrassed. Yeah,
No,
the
yeah,
a joke, right? We've talked about how what a joke the NBA All Star Game is. Guys are afraid.
Well, wait, hold on. You know what's even worse than the NBA All Star Game? The WNBA All
Uh,
Star Game. Holy moly, guys! That I don't know why I watched it. I could not
You're a
believe.
WNBA fan,
I do. I
Bryan.
actually am. I do watch.
I
I
know. Yeah.
watch. I tell you, I like my Golden State Valkyries. I like them a lot. I think that's my team. Um, I like them. I like the Golden State team. But
who
it.
plays for them? Who's their best player?
Um, I know. I know. I should know this too.
I'm
Oh
not asking to put you on the spot because I'm thinking
no, there's a
I know some of the players that are in the WNBA, and I know like, oh yeah, this player.
Stephanie Curry.
no, not Stephanie Curry. No, there's a
You can
guard
shoot
that's
from
really
so
good on that
far
team.
out.
I'm drawing a blank right now. There's a guard in that team that's really good. If you gave me her initials, I think. But and they have a nice they have a good set. Oh, they have what's her name too?
It's like Gabby
She's
Williams.
Gabby Williams. She's so cute. Yeah, I like her. That's
She's so cute. He
she
says
used to
at
be on
first he
Seattle.
said she's so cute.
No, she's really good though. She's good. She's good too. But there's a guard they have that's really good. I like her too. But
Veronica
anyway,
Burton.
yes. Burton. She's really good. I like her a lot. She's really good and tough, good. Um, yeah,
Bryan, why
I
don't you
like
pick
them.
an East Coast WNBA team so you can watch them at
Oh,
the
I like the
normal
Liberty.
hour?
I watch the Liberty. I like
Okay.
Sabrina and Esco, and I like Stewart. They're good. That's a good team. I know. I'm telling you, I do watch them. I like basketball, so I watch. I watched Indiana. I like Caitlin Clark. I watch the games. I don't go out of my way to watch the games, but if I'm flipping and I see the game, I watch it.
Okay.
Um, I don't like mark my schedule. Hey, guess what? Golden State's playing today. I'm going to turn on at 8 o'clock to watch that. I will not do that.
We talk
Um,
more about the WNBA than we do the NHL.
We definitely do
yeah,
easily.
we have to do more.
I did see some highlights of the WNBA All Star Game, and it was kind of a joke highlight reel because it
Did you
was
see
like
like Angel Reese went to
bad
take a
passes
shot,
and missed layups.
and she went to take a shot, and Asia Wilson really didn't want to try to block it, but she just put her hand there, and Reese took the shot right into her hand, and she like looked bewildered that she blocked the shot. She was like, I don't even know what happened here, and then Reese is running up the floor, and she just falls for no reason. She just like tripped on her own feet, and then she was wearing a wig, and she was trying to promote her Barbie doll that she put, and the wig was so long it was kept on falling off, so she had to take a break to go over and fix her wig. Now that would never happen in the NBA. Like this. You know, yes, we talked about Jalen Brown with his leaky hair, but like this is another whole thing. I just can't comprehend this. Hey, I need to stop because my wig is falling off and I can't see, or it's stopping me from running down the court because my wig's falling off. I just don't understand that whole
It's
thing.
all marketing. I think doesn't Angel Reese wear like eyelash extensions when she
Yeah,
plays or
during the game,
something? Like
and
she's very made up
and
when she plays.
and wait, there was another two players, and again I don't know their names. They two of the All Stars who were dating broke up or something, and they had a big and there was a big thing about one of them was cheating on another one, and all this stuff was going on. And during the All Star game weekend, there was a whole bunch of people cheating with each other. Like this is another thing that does not happen in the NBA. You can't just see, two NBA players, cheating with each other during the game. That does not happen, but it happens in the WNBA. So I just don't. There's stuff there with that All Star game that it was just baffling. Their All Star weekend was a debacle, from what I hear.
I think they got great ratings for the All Star game, and it was a very high scoring game. I did see that. It seems like their games are much higher scoring now than they were. I don't know
Yeah.
what has
Well,
changed in
Caitlin
the
Clark was
WNBA.
amazing in the first half. She was like shooting logo threes all over the place.
Oh,
Um,
geez, okay.
yeah, I mean, she's on a roll right now. When she's not injured, she's fun to watch. I'm not going to tell you she's not. Just she's fun to watch. Now again, it's women's basketball. It's very different, but she is fun to watch when she's not injured. But she's injured all the time. She's like Steph Curry of women. She's
Is
hurt all
she
the time.
is she getting hurt because of
Oh,
the fouls? Because I know that
they
there was this
clobber
big,
her. They
yeah, there was
clobber
this
her.
big to do about the
Oh, they clobber
officiating and
her.
the
Yeah.
commissioner recently. Yeah, because I think the
Well,
commissioner's under fire.
and Bucker, Paige
Beckers.
Beckers, she got clobbered last night a couple times too. Like they got to do something. They can't. They got to protect their good players because they're getting hammered. The referees are horrible. they don't even know how to referee. And again, we're speaking too much about WNBA. We got to stop. Okay, that's enough. Um, Anything else? NFL's coming. We'll start looking at. I think camps are open. People are. There's a lot going on. There's sports is nuts right now. This is
Pat
great.
McAfee gambling
What?
Yeah.
story. He
Oh, I didn't
I
see
guess he was
that.
saying he was betting on where LeBron was going to
Yep.
go, and
Yep.
they're saying he had inside information
Yep.
and
Yep.
all this stuff. Tony Romo,
Tony
DWI.
Romo. Yeah, they found an open container in his car
Oh,
too. They
that was
found an
in
open container in his
Wisconsin.
car. Did you see the
Oh,
picture of him? Did you see the picture of him from the
no.
arrest? Oh, guys, gotta find it. It was in the post today. Oh goodness, you could like he didn't even need the breathalyzer. If you looked at him, you'd be like, "Oh man, dude, you were drinking." Like
Yeah.
it looks bad. Like what was he doing? He said he was at his grandfather's or grandparents' house, and he was coming home from there. What does he go
No,
over his
he said he
grandparents'
was from
house?
a golf. He was at a golf event.
No, 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 no. In the paper today, it said he said he was at his grandparents, or maybe he was going to his grandparents, or I don't know what he was doing.
I
Something
watched the
about his
video.
grandparents.
The video's out, she said, "Where are you coming from?" He said, "Oh, I'm coming from the golf course."
Interesting. Maybe he
That's
changed
what
his
I
tone.
saw.
Maybe he changed his tone. I
Yeah.
don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah, regardless, the guy was. Who was running this golf tournament? They should never let him leave if he
Yeah.
was that
Yeah.
drunk.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll never understand how these rich athletes and celebrities don't just take a car service
I
everywhere.
know. I know.
Costs nothing for them
Right.
to
Like
do it.
literally never drive. If you're drinking,
Right?
I'm never
Yeah,
driving.
totally. Like it's
Yeah.
not like a regular guy that says, "Oh no, I've got to drive because I can't afford a $30 Uber. I don't make enough money to afford that." This is
Right.
Tony Romo makes millions every year. He can just say, "You know what? I'm going to leave my car here, take an Uber home or whatever, car service, and I'll take another car service and come pick up my car the next day." Like,
He makes more a year than most players in the NFL make per year.
wow, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Holy
think he was
cow.
10 million a year on his first contract.
Yeah. He doesn't need. He could get
Wow.
an Uber.
Anything. Get a buddy to come pick you up. Anything. Hey, buddy, I'll give you $1,000. Come pick me up at the golf course. I'm
Yeah.
loaded.
Well, I
Easy.
know my
Yeah.
dad. My dad looked at getting an Uber from Maine because, as they're getting older, it's tough to do that 7 hour drive, and it was like $600. I mean, it was. I thought it was going to be more. Like so, he could have even if he needed to go a 7 hour drive, he could afford the money.
His salary is 18 million a year.
Holy
Good
gosh!
Lord.
Yeah, no
Really?
excuse.
10-year, $180 million contract with CBS.
There's no excuse. There's no
Yeah.
excuse.
Yeah.
That's
No
an
excuse.
absurd
Even if
salary.
you don't have that kind of money, there's no excuse for getting in a car after you've been drinking that much.
Never understood this. Never.
Or at all. A guy like that, if I know if I having one drink, I'm not driving.
Yeah.
And
I don't know what's.
I think they're going to stand behind him though. I think CBS is going to keep him, but
They love him. I don't know
I
what's
know.
more infuriating. Tony Romo driving drunk or Tony Romo getting paid $18 million a year. That
Yeah, I
is
know. Because
You know
free
what, Mike?
money.
He is not as good as he was early on. I
I
didn't like when he
agree.
used to
I
call the
agree.
plays out
Yes.
and they told him
Yes.
not to. But now he makes mistakes through the broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
He's not
He's
very good,
unprepared.
and I wonder if this is part of the problem. Maybe there's
oh,
an
that's a good
alcoholism. I
point.
don't know,
Yeah.
but
He seems
yeah,
unprepared when you watch games now, I feel
yeah,
like.
yeah. So
That's
who
a
knows?
very interesting take because
Yeah.
wow. Yeah, what's funny is I have one more thing to ask Alex, and maybe you need to know this more than Mike. But how do you like the Yankees radio announcer? I like Dave Sims, but I don't like him as a Yankee announcer. I don't. How
Yeah,
I'm having a
I've heard
problem.
other people complaining about him. I, I don't listen to the radio that much. I actually listened to it the other day because they were on Apple TV,
Yeah,
and you can get the radio synced up with that and pick your radio broadcast. And I listened to him. He- I I think he's a good. I think he's a good
oh, he knows
broadcaster,
his
good man.
stuff. He
Yeah,
knows his stuff. The hundred
yeah.
percent.
But
He's very intelligent.
he's so different than John Sterling, and I wasn't the biggest John Sterling fan either. But John Sterling, like a Yankee broadcast with, you know, um, somebody like Sterling, it was more about the journey and the
Yeah,
story and this and that, while the game was going on, but it was a much slower pace. I think Dave Sims is a little more. He's a little faster, and he comes at the game a little faster, and he talks a little faster. And I think that's more different than just what he's actually talking about.
Yeah.
And I think the radio game is a slower game. It's you're talking the
Well,
whole
he's
time.
grown on me. He's grown on me. Like
Yeah, I like
even the
him.
last couple of days, I
Yeah,
actually, but it took me a long time to get used to him.
yeah,
Um,
I like
but
him, and I
but
think he
I
did a
like
great
no.
job in
See,
Seattle.
baseball is the best radio, like
Oh yeah, yeah,
radio sports baseball, because
yeah,
they do. I like the fact that he does do the well. The Mets have a great one too. The Mets,
yeah,
bear good. I'm not a Met fan, but the Mets have a great announcer, and he does. You know, the Cardinals are in their grays with the pinstripe on the left, the pinstripe on the
yeah,
one pinstripe with the bat with the Cardinal on it, and on the hat they have the interlocking STL. Like he tells you exactly what they're wearing. He
yeah.
paints the picture of the game, which I like, and that's part of what I like. I use it. I usually when like I'm doing yard work, I bring my radio out and I listen, and you have to be good or else you can't be on the radio. You have to be better than TV because TV you can get away with a lot of stuff. So Romo, this is my point. My point is with Romo, he's not prepared, and he thought he was smart enough to be able to do it. Now, if he's messing up, that's making me think he is drinking. Maybe
Well,
that is a
I mean,
problem.
last year he was getting stuff wrong. Like I
Yeah.
remember watching it being like, he's not very good. But um, who knows? I mean, they just gave who Luke Kuechly just got a big contract to
Oh,
become
jeez.
a broadcaster. He's supposed to be a savant, right? Like, knowing everything about the game, what every play call the other team was doing.
Well, we'll see.
He's
We'll
supposed
see.
to be
We'll see.
really
We'll
good.
see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
And
know.
and Greg Olson, I think he's still the best guy
I
out
like
there
Greg
Yeah,
right
Olson
he's
a
now.
lot.
very
He's
good.
very good. He's
Greg
very
Yeah.
good.
Olson's
Very,
very
very
good.
good.
I agree.
Very good.
Very good.
So
Well, we'll see. Okay.
yeah.
Well, great episode, guys. Next week, next time, maybe we'll talk more. Start
Jets
talking about
football, Bry.
football. Oh, please
Come
stop.
on, Klubnik. Come on.
Yes, please stop. 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 Stop.
Brian, pick a
Plaxico
new team
Burris talking
already.
bad about the Jets.
Yeah, I don't know about the Jets. I just don't know.
Come on, Brian. Come on.
We'll
New
see.
season, Brian.
We'll
New
see.
season.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right.
And okay.
For,
Well, have a
for a
great day.
future episode.
Have a great week, everybody. Take care.
You as
See
well.
ya.
Good night.
This is Tom Carvel. Thank you for listening to 3 the Hard Way Sports Podcast. Remember to get a Fudgy the Whale or Cookie Puss for the next time you're sitting down to watch the big game.